Apologies if the audio in this video sounds a bit off. I made a mistake in recording and basically I had to remove my voice from the video audio as there's a bit of leftover stuff, but hopefully it'll be fine. Welcome back to XCOM. What's this? Oh right, yeah, terror ship. And this large scout. Yep. Oh right, yeah, you don't get the details on the base. So that's the sectoid base. I think maybe this is mutons, if I remember right. The squads that I train up, I'm gonna send them to the muton base next. Since I've already lost 2 squads to the meat grinder sectoid base. Make a few more of these. Right. How many people do I have? What rank are they? I've got some sergeants. Still, I don't. Yeah, that's a Sky Ranger. Oh wait, yeah, I had them waiting to go against the terror ship, so I'll send them there. North Africa base can go over to them. Yeah, I'll leave them there. I was just thinking maybe I should set them to patrol because it's night time, but it should be daytime by the time they get over there, because like the Sky Ranger's slower than the rotation of the Earth. You can't skip time. It's behind the time. I think it's called Dateline. I don't remember. Oh, right, yeah. They all seem good. Why have I got so much extra ammo? Oh right, yeah, this is the Arctic one. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Now it's nice to start in the corner. I think it's a very good advantage because it means, you know, your people only have to face 2 directions rather than 4. Should be enough out for now. I'll get. Yeah, these guys will just line them up against the wall. These guys, they can just go to the front. Alright. That's clear. Still don't see the UFO. They're a bit low on time units for reaction fire, but it should be fine. Oh, there's the UFO. Oh, and this is a tower ship. Thinking, why are there fuel tanks? I thought we were going against the large UFO, but no. I forget. Oh, that's a hedge. Thinking, why couldn't they move there? These guys can just go directly towards the UFO. Still surprised I haven't run into any aliens. I think they must still be in the tower ship. At least most of them. I think 4 people to check this area should be fine, all the rest can just go towards the UFO. Oh, right, because they just moved out this turn. Means there must be a lot of aliens, because those turns are taking a decent time to process. That looks like a Reaper. Yep. One shot. I got a crit. They already moved. Ooh. That's good. Good that the shot was blocked, not that they were shot at. Can get 2 people to check that building. That's the edge of the map. Building there, I'll get 2 to check there. And 2 enemies. Where's the... Oh, it's a 2-story building. I think I just need people to kind of take cover. This guy's pretty exposed. You know, I'm thinking if I continue making videos, the next game I'll do will be Off-World Trading Company. Because, like, it's got, I forget what they're called. They're like the campaigns, but they're the pre-designed ones. So there are also campaigns you can play that, like, generated, I think. But yeah, they've got pre-designed campaigns, like missions. I'm thinking I could do a series of playing through them, but probably what I'll do is I'll just take a break from making videos in general, because, like, I've got a lot of other things to do. These take, you know, taking like an hour and a half to record a video. These guys moved. Hour and a half to record a video, and then like an hour, maybe 2 hours to edit it, that is a decent amount of time actually. So yeah, I may put out videos, but I'm thinking just not for a while. Or if I do put them out, perhaps it won't be on a regular schedule like these ones are. Oh, that's not good. Ooh, shit. That's unfortunate. Didn't know floaters had grenades though. Ooh, they're probably dead. I don't know where the alien went. But yeah, the thing that's more harmful to the other stuff that I do, or more of a hindrance than recording these total, is just doing it on a regular schedule. This means it's something that I need to do, because, you know, I don't want to break from the schedule. So it'd be better to have things that are just, like, they're not needed in a regular schedule, because, you know, these I can record a few episodes in a batch. I'm doing 2 episodes right now out of necessity, but even still they're kind of required on a regular schedule. Is the difficulty. These guys can go around this side. Yeah, they'll make sure I don't get flanked. Working reaction fire. It's cool that I can just shoot through brick walls. In fact, I can shoot through pretty much any wall. It's very convenient. I'm getting this guy back to Skyrim just so that when he dies, his stuff will be on there. Get lost or anything. Couldn't he have just gone through there? Yeah. Keep them spread out a bit so that it's harder for a grenade to kill all of them. And these guys at the back will have more time units for reaction fire. These guys, I'll just keep them here, so that they can move forward as one. But yeah, Off-Road Trading Company, I've played a lot of like the skirmishes myself. I find it quite fun, but also difficult, which I think is good. Especially, I've played one or two of those single player like campaign missions, and they are properly difficult. I think it's the point of them. They're meant to make you better at certain things. Like I'm playing through the red one, I think it's called Limited Supply or something. And it seems there's a lot of focus on like power and very precise management of resources. And like, I played through a mission or two of the blue one, that seems about taking full use of the market and stuff. I don't know what the other one is. I haven't done any of it. Yeah, I've got all the DLC for that game, so it's quite fun. It was on a good sale as well. So I got what would normally be like $80, I think, for like 30. Pretty good. Same reason I own a few DCS modules now, because they're on a pretty good sale. They were like half off. Now I could get back into making a few DCS videos, because they've been surprisingly good YouTube metrics. You know, getting a lot more views and stuff than I'd expect for a lot. Those are just hearing a noise, I don't know if you can hear that on the recording. Yeah, they've been making a lot more views than I would expect. So I may continue with them. The only problem is now my main machine is a Linux machine, so I've been having difficulties getting DCS to run properly, but other people have said they can get it working, so yeah. Hope they just go unconscious rather than dying. Yeah. But then again, I think it's like a 50-50 chance, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I may get back to making DCS videos, but it is a problem getting it set up on my machine. Like, it just doesn't want to run right. As they've got too few time units to action fire. It's already clear. Just leave 2 there for now. There it is clear. Got some people here. These guys will just be like back up. Very low on stamina. Energy. doors up. Realised I didn't check those buildings, but like an alien hasn't come out of them to attack me, so I expect that they'll be safe. Because, you know, if there was an alien in there, they certainly would have known where I was, because I killed the Reaper, and I think the way that the alien's intelligence works, the AI, you could say, if they see you shooting at like another unit, or they hear or something nearby, then they instantly become aware of where you are. Ooh. 2 Reapers and a guy. Oh, no, a guy. Blocking. That's most unfortunate. What can you expect from a rookie, though? Butterfingers. So I'm expecting those 2 people will die, that's why I'm not moving these guys any closer. In fact, I'll move these guys around the corner. They should be safe. I don't think the grenade can kill the ship walls, but it might go through the door. And hell, even if they don't die to the grenade, this guy's gonna come over and kill one of them. I don't know, what's this guy's name? Benjamin Barker. I thought it was Benjamin Franklin. I'm thinking, what's he doing here? Surprisingly, only one of them died. This guy's got to change now. Oh, that's the guy on the ship. Knowing that he died, I was hoping he'd just go unconscious. This guy's got fatal wounds, but if the mission's quick enough, he might actually live. I doubt that guy will come over in this turn, but set up a lot of people with reaction fire, and hopefully if they do come over, they'll be low time units and they'll just get shot instantly by everyone. Time units are too low. Hmm. What an unexpected surprise. Mr. Bond. Oh, that's clear. Oh, set these guys up for reaction fire. Someone comes through the door. So, you know, there might be someone hiding there. Nice. That seems pretty safe. I'll have these guys back here for reaction fire. This guy, I'll keep him in the ship actually, because if all goes well, we'll be able to clear the place out before he bleeds out. Clear them. I highly doubt that another of these guys will appear, but I'll leave 2 people below the drop down in case they do. Actually, I'll leave. This guy couldn't be here, but I'm planning for him to continue forward. But I can be there for now. Their time limit's too low to reaction fire if someone comes through. We'll just hope that someone doesn't, I guess. What do you know? Isn't that so convenient? Snapshot. That 30% accuracy. Oh, that's quite convenient. But what did I tell you? That guy didn't die. How did I lose 2? There was... Oh, right, yeah, there were 2 that... Hold on. There was 1 that died to the grenade. 1 that bled out from the grenade, 1 that got shot just then. I don't remember who the other was that died. Ooh, that's a lot of good promotions. I don't know who that is. No, that was a good mission. Do I have medkits here? corpses. No, I don't have any medkits. It's about at this base. Two flying ship suits. Also no medkits. Let's make that. No workshop space. To wait 2 days. More floaters. It seems like all I see now are floaters. Ah, I still gave them a left-handed thing. No. Like, this should be... I know that that's their left hand, but this should be the left hand, because this is the left slot. This makes more sense. I don't care about the realism. Yeah. They're in the trees. Goddamn trees. So apologies if I'm speaking at a different volume than normal, because like I'm wearing both of my earbuds so that I can hear the game properly. So yeah, I may be speaking quite louder, I don't know. Guy's got stormtrooper aim. Unlike the aliens. Aliens are competent rookies. There's the UFO. At least this should be a decently quick mission because it's just a scout. I think I'll throw smoke out for the moment. Because I don't know where the aliens could be coming from. So yeah, just to play it safe. And because, you know, I don't have anyone really set up for action for like capable of it. Or in a good position. The door is there, but aliens may be hidden in the forest, the jungle. Gonna have people sweep out. Found out. I think sweep out is still a correct term because, like, you're sweeping the area, so. But yeah, the term people normally use is fan out. Now, I've been considering it would be interesting to write a program that could simulate a society, but like simplistically. Because I know there are already... I don't know if they're a general program or just kind of simulated using statistical models and animated, or if they're custom-made animated things, but the YouTuber Primer, I think is the name, they make these little blob people to simulate mostly genetic evolution kind of things, like, for instance, how altruism can be beneficial, I think was one of their videos. Or like how COVID-19 spread, they released that when the pandemic was new. Anyway, I suspect they custom code them. Like, that's the method they use. So in essence, they think of this thing they want to simulate, and then they think, how can I directly turn this into code? And they write a program specifically to do that, while using the same assets and stuff to show the rendered output. But I want to make a program that's more general purpose. I want it to be modular, so there will be a base level of, I think, entities being simulated, and a world. And the entities will have basic things like, well, depending on what kind of entity they are, they may have positions and stuff, they may not. Because, you know, you can have people entities, or you could have business entities. But yeah, it would be modular, so you could test different things. For instance, if you were, like, workshopping legislation for environmental protection, you could make a bunch of companies, and you could make some modular code that simulates the basic way that companies behave. You know, they try and seek things that make profit, and they do those things. And rational and well-run companies, even if it's a bit immoral, they do the thing that's most profitable. And ideally things that's the most profitable over the long term. And then you could make another module for simulating the environment. For instance, you could make it so that transport generates carbon or something. And then carbon is bad for the environment. And you can make a module that implements laws. So it requires that certain entities do certain things. Or are unable to do certain things. Or are forced to do things in a certain way, you know. All the things that an environmental protection law could do, you make a module to simulate that law. And then all these things plug together, and, you know, you have your businesses interacting with the world trying to make money, but then they're also bound by the environmental law simulated by that module. And they can also only do certain things that your business entity module allows businesses to do. Like, you know, say a business can't, I don't know, create their own government or something. You could make a business that could do that. It entirely depends on what you make the module able to simulate. But yes, you can run all these modules together, and you can measure certain things about the simulation, like perhaps the most obvious, you can measure the carbon level, but also you can measure the distribution of which businesses output carbon. Like, maybe you could consider there are a lot of small businesses that don't output carbon, but maybe then there's one or two big businesses that output a ton of it, and you could change your law to maybe discourage the creation of those businesses or how they run or something. This would be very good for simulating laws and stuff, but you could also use it for general things, depending on what kind of modules you put in. Like, you could use it for certain social experiments. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. A social experiment of what happens if you take, say, children. You'd want social experiments that are perhaps difficult to run in the real world. What happens if you have essentially promising children and unpromising children? Say you have a group of children who are, I don't know, a bunch of undesirable things. They're maybe dumb, short. You wouldn't want anything that can make them die easier. So, I don't know, dumb, short, maybe they're not ambitious at all. Those kind of things. Simulate what happens if they become orphans. Then you could do the same things for promising children. That would be a kind of social experiment that would be deeply immoral to run in the real world. Or if you're running in a moral way, it would just be difficult. Can't figure out what that yellow thing is. I think it's a flare. Anyway. But yeah, you could simulate that in the simulation. Like, you could make modules to do that. That's the idea behind this thing, is you can just, simulate a bunch of different stuff. But I feel like it would be pretty easy to implement the base systems. The modules would be the hard part, but you make a framework that makes it easy for modules to interact with other things, and the modules will also be pretty easy to implement. Like, for instance, a module that simulates a law. You could have a mechanism where entities, all of their actions that they can do, they check a list that says whether that action is permitted or not. Or maybe they trigger an event and say, I'm doing this action, here are details. Maybe they're doing something that emits pollution, and that could be anything. It could be driving a vehicle, it could be burning some fuel on a campfire, anything. And then your law can the module can receive those events, and it can return, like, yes, you're allowed to do that, or no, you're not allowed. And it can do any number of other things, based on what it determines from the event it's given. Setting up lots of people for action fire here. Sorry for all the ums, it's difficult to talk while you're doing things, but I want to talk about this idea. Yeah, with a good modular system, it would still be pretty easy to implement modules. The thing is, I definitely want to make this. I feel like it would be a very interesting and useful tool. If only for research, but it would still be interesting. Talking about research, like, it could be an example of the program, not as in being useful for actual research, because, it might be useless. But yeah, it would be interesting to make, but I'm going to wait until the library that I'm developing is done. Because I feel like the mechanisms I'm building into the library, it's a does everything library. It's pretty much just a program engine. The way I'm designing it, it's actually like a kernel abstraction layer for most of its functionality. But yeah, I'm going to wait until that library is in a semi-developed state. I don't think it'll need to be very developed, but it will have pretty advanced message passing capabilities and stuff, and pretty versatile message passing, so I think that would be very good for this. But some ideas I've got is like how programs on a machine, they can kind of expose ports, like machines expose ports on a network. A program on a machine can expose ports to other programs, like just within the machine, and then they can message. That would be useful if, for instance, you had it would allow different programs to sync up. For instance, you could make an audio handling thing, like Pipewire on Linux. You could make a port for every device, say for a microphone, and that port will be available to any other program. Like perhaps it's just got a name. Oop. Oh, it's the hole in the roof. Sucker. Reaction file worked. Anyway. Good permissions. Okay. Yeah, both useless people. You can have ports on the machine. They're maybe referenced by name. Any other program can access that port. They can send messages to it, they can read messages, it'll be versatile. These kind of ports can also work over a network. I have yet to decide on how exactly that will be implemented, but basically just two machines can connect each other, and there can be daemons on either machine. Daemons in the terms of Unix services, and those daemons can just map any port from one machine onto the other. One machine can send a message, start copying this port, and then the other machine, it will get sent updates every so often when that port gets a new message or something, and it will mirror the same thing on it. I'm planning for this to be a very generic system, very versatile, and that would be good for the simulation. Anyway, I think this episode has gone on long enough, as has my rambling, so I'll see you next time.